Good morning, everybody. Thought I'd do a quick video this morning. Been a few days since I did one. It's not always easy. Come up, think of stuff, talk about, at least in a coherent fashion. Talk about stuff, and coherent fashion. Talk about stuff, and I just didn't feel like it. Just didn't feel like it. Sometimes you feel like a nut, sometimes you don't. But we're looking around. It's getting crazy, man. If our politicians were any more crooked, they'd just be working out of their jail cells. Because that's the only difference in them, that criminals go to jail a lot of times, but these guys never do. They get to continue their activities, but nobody ever gets in trouble. I watched a documentary yesterday about the music industry and the death clause, and that's pretty crazy. These record companies, for the longest time, I thought this was crazy when I heard it. I thought I'd heard all this stuff, but the record companies, I think they still do it, have a clause in there where they can take out up to 10 times your potential earnings and life insurance on you, and you have no rights to it. Your family have no rights to it. You have nothing to say about it. They can get as many policies as they want on you, and they make sure, alive or dead, they're going to make money off of you. And what was crazy was the way it was a pretty good demonstration of it. You go all the way back, and Bobby Fuller was the main story they used to outline this whole thing. And that's a pretty crazy story with Bobby Fuller. But it's a situation where they look at your career, what's going on, and there's a point where you're worth more dead than alive to them. And they showed in the documentary, in Prince, David Bowie, you name them. I mean, Freddie Mercury, Jim Morrison, Jimi Hendrix, any of them. Every time they died, boom, sales went up huge and sustained for a year or two. And they end up making record companies about 10 times more than they ever made them when they were alive. And they've known this for a long time. One of the other crazy things I found out was the biggest player in this whole game, MCA, was started in like 1924. Yeah. And what's crazy is that, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? The whole payola deal, where they were paying DJs to play certain songs. And I told Kathy, my whole life, I think I've said it before, I like Casey Kasem's Chop 40. Hello, good week. Hello, everybody. Casey Kasem. I thought it was bullshit. I'd listen to it and go, how is that song there? Why is that song even in the top? Who's listening to this shit? I mean, it was, and it still is today. And like now, back then, like on Twitter, Facebook, whatever, you can go and buy subscribers and likes and stuff. You can pay for them. Well, they've been doing that a long time in the record industry. That top 10. At first, what was funny, as they said, they were taken from DJs, call up DJs. Hey, what are y'all playing? Well, a lot of DJs were paying, what they wanted. They're like, well, let's see. They took over the mafia took over the jukebox industry. And so they start going by, the top 40 was going by jukebox numbers. And guess who was loading the jukeboxes, supplying the jukeboxes, running the record industry? That's pretty crazy. And when you read these stories and see these things, and I remember them doing it, in the 80s. Reagan was the biggest one to ever crack down on the music industry. And nothing ever happened. Oh, they indicted a couple of mob guys. That's it. You're talking about tens of thousands of other people involved, all down through the workings of the music industry. And the only people that pay any price for all of the crookedness are a couple of low-level mob guys. That's it. None of the record industry guys. No politicians. Nobody. It ain't much different today. You look at the top 40 and listen to those songs. You'll go, who is listening to this crap? Who? And it's one of those things I've known in my mind, back of my mind, that top 40 is not the top 40 songs in this country. That's not the 40 best songs that people like. It's not. Can't be. And then you look the same at all the music awards, Oscars, Grammys, whatever. Best picture. What? What was that? That's best picture. Who saw it? Nobody even went and saw it. I was like they said this last year that Top Gun was the top selling movie and everything. More people went and saw it than any of them, but it didn't win any awards. It got put up for one or two maybe, but it didn't win because Hollywood makes all those stupid kinds of movies that they don't recognize them as art. It's not an art movie. It didn't have any art to it. You know what I mean? That's always been one of those deals where the most popular stuff, easily visual than everybody else, is always, when it comes out in the media, it's not that good. More people like this. You're like, how did anybody like that? How did everybody like this? It's crazy. Crazy, man. It's crazy. All it is. I've been seeing these parents going to these school board meetings. The best dude, he was badass. This dude went up there and he was very calm speaking. He was very measured. He read out this excerpt from a book that his 15-year-old daughter was assigned, and it was very descriptive, graphic, homosexual sex. And when it was done, he read the U.S. Code for pornography and distribution to minors. And he left them people shaking. He told them straight up, you're going to file these charges. You can resign right now, or you can wait. But You've been distributing pornography to these children. You people, every one of you, y'all signed off on it. Y'all said that's fine. That can be in there. Sorry, you messed up. And why don't more local school districts do that? So what if the federal government or the state government says that book's okay? It's okay. It can be on the list. At the local level, you should be able to look around and go, guys, what do y'all think? Yeah, no. When they graduate high school, they can go to the library downtown and find that book and read it all they want. They can order them one, but not here in school. It's always been a deal of we don't do anything unless the state tells us, and then the state says, well, we don't do nothing until the federal government says it's okay. And that's crazy, man. That's crazy. Why? Yeah, I was watching Sarah Huckabee Sanders, the new governor of Arkansas, and she passed a school reform bill where you can go any school you want. Money travels with the kid, private, public, whatever, however you want to do it. And the bad thing is about in Arkansas, there aren't very many good schools. You think? I mean, when we lived out there in El Dorado, there's one high school. What do? Next closest town's 35, 40 miles away. What are you supposed to do? Yeah, I got a choice to stay here, go to this crappy school. Oh, and speaking of schools and stuff, I don't know if y'all saw the news story, but this high school put out a video about their high school and did a little walkthrough for you. Showed you all their stuff, their cafeteria, their woodwork shop, auto body shop, gym, swimming pools. Boy, nice school. Ooh, nice school. Real nice. Well, did they ever catch hell for that shit? Oh my God, they caught hell. Everybody's calling them racist and bigots. Look at you white supremacists showing off y'all fancy school. Somebody looked into the school, and the school has over 7,000 kids in it. And that school averages like $950. Is it $900? No, $9,500 a year per student. And the national average is $25,000 per student. And this school is, I got third black, a little bit Hispanic, a little bit of Asian, and then white. Pretty mixed. Nice looking school. Throughout the video, you see the diversity. You see all the different kids, black kids, white kids, Mexicans, Asians. You see them all. But these people lost their shit because I guess the majority of the kids in the video were white kids. But these people just boom, attack. You're a racist, you're a bigot. That school district is doing a fantastic job. They are distributing their money well. The schools are running well. Kids are doing well. Very, very diverse. But that's not good enough. Not good enough. Those people, would they have been happy if it had been all black and Hispanic and Asian, all minority doing the video? No, probably wouldn't have been happy with that. That's what makes them happy. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. We you see these things like Trump. I mean, what do you say? They y'all see that CNN crap? What I thought was so funny was afterwards. Did anybody see that? Anderson Cooper. And they're apologizing to their viewers for the lies this man tells, and for the just oh my god, and they're just wow. It's it's terrible. It's terrible. Just terrible. Oh, if you get a chance, look up the daggum documentary about Dick Carlson, Tucker Carlson's dad. That's one of the craziest stories I've ever seen. That's nuts. That dude, wow. What are the chances in the early 70s that the Carlson's dad was a reporter in California, I think Los Angeles or something. And this is early 70s. What are the chances he breaks a story, runs into a story about a lady car manufacturer? She's going to start a car company of three-wheel vehicles like the Spiders are today. Two wheels out front, one in the back, little three-wheel deal. And it's during the gas crunch. Gas crunch is starting, right? The OPEC deal starting early 70s. And so by 73, 74, she's got millions together. And they're working on these vehicles. She's got all these pre-orders, all this stuff. I'll make a long story short. Turns out that this lady was actually a man that had gone to Tijuana, got castrated, kept his penis, but he got castrated and lived as a woman. Well, his story was this whole time was he lived with his aunt, or she lived with her aunt and two children. Well, it turned out that was his wife and two children. And the kids called him mom and called her aunt. Crazy story. And the lady ends up moving to Texas and starting a car deal. And they lay these things out. All these things are just almost, they're doing the mirror these days. It was almost a mirror deal of Tesla, the way the car deal went down. I mean, there's just things throughout. And he was huge CIA connected, big time. And watch that documentary. Dick Carlson, Tucker's old man. It's funny. They show some pictures of him when he's a kid. And he's got that smug look on his face as a kid. Tucker Carlson. He's got that look on his face even as a kid. But it's crazy. It's crazy. How do these people... I mean, the amount of corruption in our corporate setting for the last 100 years is just crazy, man. It's just crazy. Growing up, I've said it before, there's always been the joke about the pedophile priest, the crooked lawyer, the quack doctor. There's always been those jokes. But no, it's no joke. It's real. Those people are out there practicing, functioning, ripping people off every day. Every day. They don't stop. It's not a joke. It's not, nobody stops them. They do not stop. They continue on. We've emboldened them so much over the last 60, 70 years. Everybody knows the game. If we get caught, guys, only that one's going down. Everybody knows the game. Ain't afraid. They're not afraid. Those politicians look you right in the eye. say, that guy's a crook. I am too, but we ain't talking about me. We're talking about him. So it's crazy. It's crazy. We battle not with flesh and blood. That's for sure. And again, watching all these documentaries, people researching all the megalithic structures around the world, researching all these timelines missing in history, researching all these anomalies, and they all just lay out such perfect, beautiful cases, and in the end, all they have to say is, this is proof. Armageddon is past. We're in the end times of the devil's, and it would be sealed, done. But they don't. They just all say about the same thing. There's evidence of a recent reset in the past. There's evidence of Armageddon. Because you'll look at stuff and go, wow, something melted that. Something melted it. Fervent heat. Yeah, something real hot, like a plasma event. You mean like the wrath of God, like lightning from above, fire and brimstone type of stuff? Yeah, a lot like that. But we know that ain't real. That didn't happen. But it's just like it. As if something like that had happened. That's what we're finding everywhere. Weird, man. Crazy, man. Crazy. We're in a very unique time. I talked to my brother the other day. Oh, we're having trouble with my parents again. My dad has turned around and now he thinks he can drive again. And he's trying to drive all the time and he can't. And so we have power of attorney, and he's only got the keys to his work truck and his 66 GTO, his 65 GTO, my bad, his 65 GTO, which we don't think he can drive anymore because it's a standard. We don't think he can just put all the motions together successfully to drive. So we're gonna tow his vehicle, store it out at my brother's house so he can't drive. Excuse me. Speaking of my Kleenex, have y'all noticed this morning? Pretty clear. Usually most mornings when I'm doing these, I'm blowing my nose and coughing and hacking. And not so today. Thank God. Think about this. Like it's been a month. I've been listening to my gut, and I've been listening to, trying to listen to nature and stuff, get more centered. Well, about 3 weeks ago, the first incident, I'm sitting here at the house, and Kathy has bought Lulu, our granddaughter, clothes and like a little splash pad you put out in the yard, hook up the water hose, buy her some stuff. She's got it packed, and I need to go mail it. And I'm sitting there, and all of a sudden I need to go right now and mail that. There's nobody at the post office. I'm gonna walk right in. I'm gonna walk right out. And I followed my gut. I got in the car and I drove up there and I walked in. I went, I sold there. There wasn't even anybody behind the counter. And I was like, hello. Lady come out, and I was like, perfect. And I told her, why I came. And she's like, well, yeah, I follow your gut. And then a day or two after that, I'm sitting here at the house and I go, I need to get up. I gotta go. I gotta mow the yard. It's gonna rain. And there ain't even rain in the forecast. I just had a weird feeling. Get out there and mow. And by the time I'm done mowing, the clouds have rolled in. I'll pull in, park the lawnmower, and boom, it starts to rain. Well, yesterday, same thing. I'm sitting here and me and Kathy are watching NASCAR, I think. And I just get up, put my shoes on. She's like, where are you going? I said, I need to go mow. I said, I think it's going to rain. She's like, looks on her phone. It's not supposed to rain. Says there's like a 5% chance. And I said, it's going to rain. So I get up, I get everything mowed, pull in, and it's the same thing. And in 5 minutes, man, starts mowing. And she just looks at me. She's like, that's weird. And yesterday to her, 3 different times, I read her mind before she ever said it. Blew her away. She looked at me and going, you read my mind. I know, I heard you. She's looking at me. I said, I've had this ability for years. Done this to you before. She goes, yeah, but that's like 3 times today. Get out of my head. I'm like, you're screaming. I keep hearing you're screaming. No, it ain't me, it's you. We can bake with you guys. Had none yet. Yeah, I'm psychotic. I can read her mind anyway. Yeah, I completely 100% believe couples, at least, can really get tuned in pretty good if they pay attention. I've said on here before, over the years, me and Kathy, we've done that a bunch. I'll be out in the yard, be in the garage doing something, and I just sense she wants me. And I just walk in and go, what? And she's sitting there starting to text me. I was just texting you. I know. I've done it hundreds of times, hundreds. She won't usually act on hers because she doesn't trust it. But I always act on mine. And when I feel it, I'll text her or I'll call her and go, yeah, you were thinking about me? And I'm right. She, for whatever reason, it's hard to get her to trust or believe that what she's feeling is really my vibrations coming to her, alerting her, letting her know. But I believe it, and I call her on it every time, and she's like, get out of my head. Get out of my head. Crazy. It's crazy, man. I don't know, when my StreamYard script here runs out, I think I'm gonna be done YouTubing. I just, those people who do it every single day, man, I can barely do it. The times I do it, just trying to think of something to say that's coherent. I know people, a few that do watch my stuff probably laugh at me. Because I ain't the most intelligent or articulate guy in the world, but I try. I have my opinions, but I'm not opinionated. I have my biases, but I'm not a bigot. That's another thing that's crazy, man. If you ever watch any of those Senate confirmation hearings, or any of those hearings, thank you, Senator, for the question. And I would, the ones that are the worst are the judges. They pull up things that they tweeted, that they wrote, groups that were involved in, or all these far left radical groups. They write papers, saying conservatives are low intellect people, just crazy stuff. And when they're asked about it, they're like, hey, if I'm confirmed for this judgeship, you can be assured my personal thoughts and my personal ideas will not play any part in my judgments. I will follow the law. It's like, oh my God, come on. I'd respect you more if you just didn't say nothing. Don't sit there and tell us that after you wrote this 300-page op-ed about how awful the right is and how they need to go to re-education camps, tell me you're going to sit up there and go, yeah, those Christians are getting a bad deal. No, you already wrote that Christians and religion should be shut out of society. They should have to go private and underground. You know, these people are crazy. And several of the senators and congressmen have said, I've never seen such a radical group of appointees from any administration. Every one of you suckers. And none of them, like when they have the energy department or anybody up there, nobody has answers. They don't have answers to anything. They don't have numbers. The senator or the congressman will have the numbers. Do you know how much out it y'all did? No, I don't have those numbers with me. Well, I do. You had it. I guess that's right. Why did you come? Why did you come here? We gave you the questions that we were going to ask. You don't know the answer to any of them. It's sad. It's crazy. But hey, every one of them, they're on our dime. We're paying them good money. Good money. What's funny is noticing how the ATF, the Energy Department, the Interior Department, they're all taking existing laws and they're reinterpreting them. They're looking at them and going, that doesn't really say that. This is what this says. And they've been busted already a bunch of times. I've seen lots of senators and congressmen go, why did you take this policy right here, and do this? You have no authority to do that. You can't change this. Well, we thought that would be a more equitable and reasonable approach. You don't get to say that. You don't get to choose that. You don't get to say, I don't think that rule is equitable, reasonable. We're not going to do that. Here's what we're going to do. It's kind of the same, but it's better. It's not better. God. There's not a single freaking government department that has a leg to stand on that can stand up and go, we run our department to the letter. We don't waste any money or time. Everything we do is right for the people. And if we're not doing something for the people, we're not going to do it. We're going to break the laws. We're not going to skirt. It's crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. What time is it? I've been going 36 minutes. Yep. I guess I'll sign off. I said, I don't know when. I have to look, I guess. My StreamYard expires. And I probably won't re-up it. I gotta go look and see if I didn't put the credit card on there and tell it to auto update. Because I think it's probably been 3 years now. I think I only did a 2-year deal. I better take a look. All right, everybody. Love y'all. Good discernment. Good vibrations. Take care.